Fake candidates in the job market. Oh man, there are so many fake candidates in the job market. And many of them are in IT. And people just take a 3 month class out of somewhere outside of the US, and they claim, sometimes in the US, but usually outside, and they claim 5 years of experience, whether it's in SAP, Salesforce, Workday, NetSuite, Oracle, EBS, or even Oracle Cloud I've seen lately. They just take a 3 month class and they just exaggerate that they have 5 years of experience with it, maybe 10 years of experience. Some people exaggerate they have 10 years of experience. So to really understand this, we have to understand the reason people do this. The reason people do this is they want a job. They need a job to support their families. And they're going to do what they're going to do to get the job. Having said that, this just goes to a different level. I've seen, as an IT recruiting company owner, executive recruiting owner of New Config, I've seen one person take the technical interview and another person show up to the next round. Like, it's crazy what people are doing these days. It's insane. So let's say you are the hiring manager. Like, what do? How do you filter out these fake candidates? The first thing you need to do is you need to ask them technical questions. We're talking about IT. So if you're dealing with Salesforce, you need to ask them Salesforce configuration questions. If it's Salesforce developer, you need to ask them about Apex and Visual Apex coding or creating Visual Force development questions. Same thing with SAP. You need to ask them functional questions about SD configuration. Things that they will only know if they're hands-on the job. Not something they could read in a book or learn in a class. Things they could only learn hands-on doing the job. Now, if you ask them these questions, then the fraud people, the people that are not prepared, the people that don't actually have the experience, they're going to be flabbergasted. They wouldn't know how to respond because they obviously don't know what they're doing. So then you could filter those candidates out. Now, if you're dealing with developers, a great way to filter candidates out is give them a coding assessment. Make them do code. Actually look at their code. Then you can figure out if they're actually BSing you, if they know how to code or they just exaggerate and they are really not good in coding. And then you could actually look at their functions and their classes in code and find out if this is the type of person you want to trust with your project or with your software. So that's a great way to filter out developers. Now, for the functional and IT folks, to eliminate people doing one interview and then another person showing up, the great way nowadays after COVID is these calls, these video calls through Google Videos or through Zoom or through Microsoft Teams. Make sure you actually see the person when you do a technical interview. That way, another person can't show up to the next round if you know what he looks like, if you know what she looks like. So that's a really good way to get rid of these fake candidates that do a technical interview for their friends. So that's my piece of advice. Ask some functional questions, ask some technical questions, but then your question is, well, Dmitry, I'm just in HR. Or Dmitry, I have been outside of coding or outside of functional work for years. I don't know the questions to ask. Or Dmitry, we're just implementing Oracle EBS. We're just implementing SAP. We're just implementing NetSuite or another system. We don't actually know it right now. I don't know what questions to ask. Then you have two options. You either get a consultant. I'm sure if you're implementing SAP or NetSuite, you have technical consultants on site or working with you. Ask them to do a technical and be there during the technical, number one. Or two, work with a technical company like New Config that we filter out fake candidates. This is what we do all day, every day. Now, the third option, which I don't recommend, but you could do, is you could actually learn the functional configuration. You could actually learn the code, which will take you months, if not years, to learn the job. I don't recommend it. I recommend the answer is who. Get someone who can help you. Either use New Config or use a contractor or use someone that can help you. That is my advice. Now, the best solution, to be honest, is just use New Config. Like, we do this all day, every day. If you're a hiring manager and you see a lot of fake candidates in the market, and you want to filter them out and you only want your recruiting firm to send you the best candidates, you use New Config. Because a lot of these other recruiting firms, they don't know how to spell SAP. They know nothing about Salesforce. They don't know anything about technical. They could ask you questions about salary. They could ask you candidates questions about salary or how many years of experience, but they're clueless about technical know-how. And that's what a new config does. Well, I come from an IT background. That's how we started new config. I used to be at SAP, Salesforce, and PeopleSoft consultant. So this is what we do all day, every day. So call new config if you don't want to deal with these fake candidates. But they're out there. They're all over the job market, and they'll get you. You're gonna hire one of these folks, and they're gonna be super unproductive. You hire them, you pay them 100 grand, 120 grand or more. So, and it'll take you 2 or 3 months until you get rid of them. So then they're gonna cost you $30,000-$40,000. Why waste that money? Come to New Config. Let us help you get rid of these fake candidates, or do your homework. Use a contractor, do your video calls, make sure that you don't deal with these candidates. And if you do, you filter them out like we do every day. So thanks for watching, and be careful out there in the job market. Fake candidates are everywhere.